Hey everyone, the Arthur of Gaming here. I'm doing another edition of my 10-question interview, Dungeons and Dragons, and with me is my guest, Kat. Kat, hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
So, Kat actually is a friend, a personal friend of mine, as well as my wife, and she lives all the way in the far off green land of Seattle. So we don't get to see her very often, but we're gonna do a little interview and talk to her about some Dungeons and Dragons and see what kind of things she answers compared to what other people have answered.
No pressure.
No pressure at all, Kat. This is going to be very easy. Uh, don't worry about your answers. Everything is good. You ready? So, the first
Okay.
question: what is your process when naming a character? Like,
Um,
do you do
it
research or does it just come to you? Like, how do you do things?
it depends. If I'm DMing, I thoroughly enjoy using random name generators. I feel like they're more authentic. If I'm going to be creating a character and I know anything about my backstory, I tend to work on the backstory before I come up with a name. Or if I could figure out anything about my other players' characters. Right now in the campaign that I'm playing a Tabaxi, and my roommate decided to name her character something that is faintly looking like the word meow. I'm like, that's racist. So now it's a whole thing. So, I mean, she definitely took the cue, went with it, and now I have someone whose name is basically meow. So it's great. And
Nice.
then I based my tabaxi, the appearance, based on I'm a cat lady, my cat. So I tried to do something kind of like that. He has a full name. His name's Octavius. So now my character's name is Octavius. He's a little bit shorter than everyone else because Gus is a little bit smaller. So pulling from real life examples if possible and making them authentic to the experience, of course.
Very cool.
Trying to.
Very cool. All right. So, second question is: what is your most memorable critical success?
So it actually happened to be my very first experience with D&D. I was playing with a group of my friends, well, mostly my ex-husband's friends. We were playing, and I'm pretty sure this was that time that we played for like 12 hours. And I was playing as a ranger, so I was super far away, being, the support staff from a distance. And I had advantage. I rolled two nat 20s, and my DM just looks at me.
Oh.
He's like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, "What is that good?" He's like, "That's very good. You should explain your killing blow to me." I was like, and everyone's like, "What?" So proud of myself.
Nice.
And then we've had a few encounters where I definitely had a barbarian, and one of my favorite things is to pick up one character and beat him with the other character. So I'm like, this is going to happen. I definitely, we had a few enemies, and they were supposed to be very hard to kill. I was like, I'm going to grab onto this one and beat him against a tree until he stops moving. And my DM's like, roll for it. So that was wonderful. They
Nice.
had popped off. It was nice.
Nice. Very
Very,
cool.
very graphic.
Those are some good successes there.
I'm pretty sure they were some harpies, so it made me very happy. I was like, I don't like you, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need to
very good.
die. A very brutal death.
Nice. And now flipping the coin completely over. What's your most memorable failure?
There have been quite a few of them. I'm notorious for sucking at rolling. I have a lot of dice that are now in timeout for failing me repeatedly on multiple occasions. I'm pretty sure the last one we had a we had a campaign, and my DM decided that he wanted to take control of my character, which unfortunately he did. And apparently, I didn't
It's
realize how
not good.
awesome my character could be until he took control and murdered the entire party. I was like, I could do what? He's like, you really need to pay attention. I was like, well, I've had vodka, so it's not my fault. So he annihilated the entire party, and I just sat there and watched, and everyone's looking at me like, you gonna do anything? I'm like, I can't. I
What?
suck at rolling, and I'm charmed. So sorry, guys, you're gonna die. So it wasn't me rolling for the attacks, but it was definitely an epic failure on my end. And then there have been many occasions where I try my best to roll nat one and hit my comrades and obliterate them. So that's always fun. And there's always, the fireball fiasco. So my bad. Many people die. It's fine.
Okay, well, it's funny that you happen to mention that. What is your most memorable character death?
Uh, that time that well, I guess I killed the entire party, but that didn't. We all came back, so that's fine. That doesn't count. And then there was that definite time with Fireball, and I accidentally killed myself and most of the party. I maimed the rest of the party, and then the rest of the enemies took care of the rest of the party. So if you're gonna mess up in a grand way, I suppose.
So was that by fireballing yourself in the party? Is that what happened with that one, or?
It was my first spellcaster. I didn't know any better. I was like, this looks like fun. Let's do this without actually doing. I've learned the hard way. Do your research before you just. This looks like fun. I'm gonna blow up the entire room.
Whip off some random spells, yeah.
Good. No, and I've decided to steer away from Fireball as any of the season. People will be like, this is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is definitely now Shatter. It's more. I'm more focused. It's more fun.
Yep,
Plus, it's like, loud noises.
All right, next question. We're already on to question number 5. You're cruising along here really well. You're doing good.
It's like me in college. Fly through the tests.
Tell me about your favorite character of all time.
Mine or someone else's?
It could be yours or someone else's. If you were the DM and you just liked their character so very much, could be someone else's.
Well, I have 2. The one I'm playing right now is very fun because I have never actually played a Tabaxi Artificer. So it's really fun because I'm learning all sorts of new things. Doing the research for the character was great. For that campaign, we actually started off at level 10. I was like, look at all the stuff I can do.
Yeah,
Guys, look at all this stuff I have.
That's a nice place to start.
And then my DM cruelly put us, screwed us over and put us back to level 1. He's like, now that you know where characters can be, we're going to start from level 1. I was like, why? Why do you hate me? So we're back to level 1. We're up to level 3. I'm very excited to get my Blink boots. And, come into rooms and come out of rooms. There's poop, poop, poop. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy being able to just tinker with stuff and make things better. I enjoy the strangeness of being a Tabaxi instead of, a standard half elf like everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm trying to branch out. I think the next campaign I DM is going to be obscure races and classes. Go for it. Let's try something new. We'll do a one shot, see what you like, see what you don't like, have everyone play something different. That way they can see it from other people's perspectives. And then it's interesting. And I'm really excited to get guns and with the pew pew. It's going to be fun. And then someone else's character that I loved was a barbarian. It was like my first experience with D&D. And someone was playing a giant barbarian. It was terrifying and awesome at the same time. And I was like, this guy, he was playing true to his intelligence, which was like a 2. And we'd all be sitting there trying to come up with a plan and be like, no, I jumped through portal. What? I jumped through portal. Why would you do that? It's like, we don't know where that goes, and it's a ring of fire. Okay, goodbye. We're all coming too, I suppose. But he was definitely the inspiration for picking someone up and beating them against things, or like interesting moves where you have to have the DM figure out different damage, like rolling for how much bludgeoning damage they're taking while falling through a window. It's nice. So it gives you a good view of what other people can play as, and you kind of say, oh, well, if they can do that, why am I not thinking outside of the box? Like, it's more fun to think about different ways to murder people. It's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, people that are actually playing and role playing, which is very different. I have a lot of people that they just want the battles. Yep. but the role playing aspect is so much more interesting when you play with a different group. I played with one group where everyone's characters were very they would actually play to the role, and half of it was actually role playing, which was nice.
Hmm.
You get a lot of character development, and you stay in character, which is nice. But I get a nice mix with my current group, so hopefully
Nice.
we'll figure out how my new Tabaxi feels about everyone. Obviously, he's not a big fan of, my roommate's character, Meow. Kind of rude. So every single time someone says her name, I'm like, "Excuse me." So it's adding some flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm definitely enjoying the whole being small and being a cat, which was great when I turned into level 1 and I didn't have any weapons. I had my little claws. I was like, guys, I got these. They're like, you're like 4 feet tall. Get out of here. I'm like, but I have these. And they're like, you're the only one with weapons. Ha! I can't do anything about it, but I've got tiny claws.
Nice, nice.
So that's always fun.
Okay, well, that's kind of good that you asked that you mentioned this before because now this can roll. You're doing good with like the segues here. The next question is, what is your regular gaming group like? Like, what are the people like? So the idea behind this question is, when I started playing D&D back in the Stone Age, your gaming group was a bunch of white dudes sitting around a table. So, what are the players like in your gaming group?
We're a bunch of white dudes sitting around a table. So right now we have myself, weird. We have my roommate who was not into D&D at all when she moved in, and I feel bad because I've created a monster. She actually has a cute little dice carry case now with like 3 sets of dice, and
Nice.
she's very excited about the new character she's playing. She's playing a druid. She's like, "This is going to be so much fun." It's like, okay, well, you better bring snacks. And then we have one of my other friends. Her and her husband are playing. So right now it's a married couple, another married couple, my roommate who's single and adorable, and then my other friend, and he's pretty awesome. So right now I'd say we work really well together.
Yep.
My friend is actually DMing. I've known him for about 5 years now. He was actually in the original D&D group I did when I first started playing, and he's DMing right now. He's the jerk that put us back to level 1. And my friend's wife is playing another druid. I think she's a half elf, something. And then I have a human paladin, so that's always great. How classic. And I like to mess with them a lot. And then my husband's playing. I don't even remember what he's playing right now. He's probably playing a bard. It's been a while since, we've gotten to play.
Right, right, yeah.
Thanks, Corona.
Yeah, yeah.
But basically, it's just an excuse for us to all hang out, play D&D, drink, and eat snacks for an entire day,
Which,
which is kind of
yeah,
nice.
yeah, and that's not really a bad thing.
And I mean, we all work pretty well together. I do have to admit that my friend's husband is very noble. He's very lawful good 90% of the time. And my character is usually the exact opposite, so we butt heads a lot. Right now, I'm just a little bit on the crazy chaotic side, but that's because I can't help it. I'm a cat. I pick things up, I put them in my pockets. I don't know what happened. I didn't mean to steal it. It just happened. And then we have my roommate who's learning. She's doing really well. She's got her little spell cards for her decks. It's really cute. I'm thoroughly enjoying watching her be corrupted into this. And unfortunately, the only downside is we all kind of egg each other on when it comes to buying new dice and new dice trays and dice bags and the brand new set of books.
Hmm.
So that doesn't help.
No.
But I mean, we all tend to work together to find times to play, which is always hard being, the adults now.
Yeah.
That's great. But finding time, figuring it out. We tend to work together pretty well when it comes to actual campaigns. We butt heads a little bit with our characters this time, but not as much as last time. We had a few tiefling bards, so that was fun. One had a kazoo, so that tells you something.
Nice.
Um,
Nice. I
and
want a
and
kazoo. I want a bard with a kazoo. That's fantastic.
See, that was fine, except every single time he'd use Bardic Inspiration, he'd whip out his phone and be like, "We're gonna play this song now," and it was a song, like a famous song by Kazoo, and we all had to listen to it. I'm like, "Mother of God, someone kill the bard," which is fine. It's fine.
Fantastic.
My husband's a bard.
So I think you've kind of answered this question, but we're going to go with it. So, what is the most diverse gaming group that you ever played in? Is that the one you're currently playing in? Because you're about half women, half men.
Um, like in that aspect, yes. Um, I would say actually the most diverse group I've played with was all guys and me, but that's just because they were all so different. We had like the one weird guy that dressed as a cowboy all the time. We had the one guy who was a very high functioning alcoholic. We had like the clean cut nice guy. We had the really weird girl. So it was like those personalities were very, very different
Yeah.
outside of D&D, which is really funny that we all got together to play. But it worked. It worked pretty well. We met up a few times. They kind of fizzled out when some people got transferred, Navy. But I mean, that was the weirdest group of people I've played with,
Nice.
personality wise. Right now, I would say we do have a little bit of diversity because we have Ashley, who's happy go lucky, giant ball of happy. Kevin and Athena, my friends that are married, are like the parents. There's me and my husband, we're kind of like the teenagers that are troublemakers. And then we have my friend who's the high functioning alcoholic. So
He's back. He's back for this
he's always the one that brings the booze. He's very consistent. It's very nice.
one. What is the largest group of people you've ever played D&D with?
Oh, that was my Christmas one shot. That was really bad. It kind of snowballed out of control because people were like, "But I want to play too." I was like,
So how many
and I
people
was
was
like,
it?
I actually had to put limits on time for rounds. It was that bad. I think we had 10 people.
Hmm.
It was massive. And you kind of say, "Yeah, sure, whatever," expecting people to drop out like, you know, people, "Oh, I got busy," which is fine. That's what I'm used to. But none of the people did that. That's not, I was expecting people to get busy. No one got busy. Actually, we had two people that came over to do something earlier in the day and were like, "You doing a one shot? Can I play?" Ah, I suppose so. So I literally had to set time limits.
Yeah.
You have how many other people's turns to figure out what you're doing? Figure it out. Because when I come to you, if you're not ready, "Oh no, you sneezed. There's your half a second interval. You're
Yeah.
done. Sorry." Pay attention. And
Yeah.
there were like, it was like herding cats, like squirrels, trying to get them back into what they were supposed to be doing. I'm like, "Hello, it's your turn. Hello, okay, your turn's done. Next person." They're like, "But," I'm like, I told you you had time and you wasted it." So my ideal group size is like 4 or 5, max 6,
Yeah.
and that's if I'm pushing it, because I'm never hurting cats again. That was too much.
It is too much.
And in that time in between, people get up and go get drinks, and I'm like, yeah, "Okay, come back, please. It's your turn. Pay attention." I'm like, I have the little clothespins on the back of the DM screen so you
Yep.
can see when your turn is. You're next.
Yep.
Don't get up. So too many.
Yes, too many
And
for
of course,
sure.
it was when I was DMing.
Yeah, of course, of course. All right, two left. These are well, they're the easy questions, but they're not really that easy. So here you go. Ready? What is your favorite spell and why?
Oh, I mean, Thunderwave's fun, but I've had way too many bad encounters with that. I'm leaning towards Shatter. It's so much fun to play. It's super destructive, and it's less destructive in the aspect that it's more easily contained.
Hmm.
I don't have to worry about too many other people dying from collateral damage. Um, but I mean, I'm a fan of it. It's good.
Hey, it has the nice bonus of if the creature's made of like crystal or any of that kind of stuff, they have disadvantage on the saving throw. I mean, that's pretty good.
There's always that.
That's always helpful.
I'm a fan of accidentally killing something, and they're like, and they explode. They explode? They explode. I'm so excited. Look what I did. My team is just like standing there. They exploded. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You guys are covered in goo now, aren't you? So that's fun. I've had a lot of good encounters with it. I've had a lot of successes with it. And if it's a failure, it's not the world's ending kind of failure where you
Right.
kill everyone or maim everyone. So that's good. I'm a fan of that aspect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I would definitely have to say Shatter. Thunderwave's fun, but I've been thrown off way too many of precipices for that.
Yes, for that. Okay. All right. And last question. What is your favorite magic item and why?
Well, I mean, I can just go with my everyone's favorite is their bag of holding. So I don't have to keep track of how much stuff I'm holding. um, you know, I really don't have one. It's basically whatever my DM feels like giving out to me. There was this one time that I accidentally murdered Death and they gave me his ring. That was fun.
What did the ring do?
Unfortunately, it killed me, but it killed me in the aspect that I could just go through different planes. So that's fine. That's fun. I can go visit dead people. That's fun.
Sure.
But unfortunately, I died. Worth it though, because I got to come back. So that was a terrible. I wasn't supposed to kill him. That happens a lot. Sometimes I'm a murder hobo. I can't help it.
Yeah.
You're just standing there. I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can. Because you didn't tell me I shouldn't. Because reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's wearing black and I would like that cloak. So I'm gonna borrow it. I murder. So that was fun. It was definitely one of those items that I was never supposed to have. No one's supposed to have that, but I took it because I'm a thief. So
Even though you're not actually a thief, but you're a thief. Right.
I was playing a rogue at that point, so I was just
Oh,
kind of
okay. So you were a thief.
stole everyone's stuff all the time. But that's 'cause I have sticky fingers,
Right. You
especially
can't
if I'm
help
playing
it.
my character. Right now I'm a tabaxi. I don't have sticky fingers. I just pick things up, and they end up in my pockets.
Yeah.
So no, definitely that weird ring.
Nice.
It kind of did bad things, but it was fun though. Yeah, weird black ring of death.
Nice. Okay. Good. Good. So that was it. See, you survived my 10 massive questions. You actually managed to survive through them. The 10-question interview, the Dungeons and Dragons edition. I definitely want to say thank you to Kat for joining me for my little questions here. You guys can find her at @heythere_cat on Instagram. Big thank you to Vorpal Board. As you guys can see, the software that we're using is Vorpal Board, www.vorpalboard.com. Check them out. They're awesome. And of course, I'm the Arthur of Gaming, so check me out on Instagram. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, comment, all that kind of stuff. Tell me what kind of stuff you guys like. Anything else you want to say, Kat, before we disappear?
Nothing. I mean, I just would like for this quarantine crap to end so I could actually hang out with my friends and play D&D.
Absolutely, I hear you. Me too. All right, everybody. So everybody else, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.